Hello, family and friends. I'm glad to be back on here to chat and talk with you and show you that we're making some uh, pumpkin bread. But we're going to turn it this time into pumpkin cupcakes.
And again, my mom doesn't measure anything, but I did find a recipe that is my mother-in-law's, so maybe that'll kind of give you guys something to go by.
Okay, I'm going to add 4 eggs.
The flour and seasoning and pumpkin mix and all that's already in there. How are you guys doing today? How was your Monday?
We got another hot one here today. And I think like tomorrow it's supposed to be like 97 with high humidity. Okay, that was our 4 eggs and our oil. Water. I poured some water out into it of a cup, so.
We're trying to kind of be a little bit organized.
And we just keep stirring till we get it all mixed up.
And while she's stirring that, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the recipe. Again, like I said, I had found it. It's my husband's mom's recipe. And this will kind of give you guys something to kind of go by if you decide to make it. Because like I said, with mommy, she doesn't measure anything. So. Here is the recipe. I hope you guys can see that good. And that is her recipe. I just happened to find that yesterday when we were talking about making pumpkin bread, and we wanted to try to find you guys something to kind of go by with a little bit of directions. So I will turn it back over to Mommy.
The hand pies that I made yesterday, they said they was awfully good. That was the first time I had made those in like years, but they were a lot better if you dry your apples like people did years and years ago. They were a lot more better. But
They were.
Everybody said they was yummy, so.
They were delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Okay, now where's your scooper? Okay. I don't know if this is gonna hold up.
Please ignore the dogs. They are deciding to bark.
Taking some time to run it out. You may even have some left over.
Do you guys like pumpkin bread? Does that make you guys think of fall? I'm ready for fall. I'm over all this hot weather.
Pumpkin season again. But it's nice to have every season to have like a change with something else out. I think it's great.
What's the temperature where you guys live at today?
And my daughter, when baking, always when I bake, I always set my temperature a little bit lower than hers. She likes hers a little bit higher. Reason I guess I keep mine lower is I don't want it to burn, like on the bottom, because if it burns on the bottom, it destroys the food, I think. I need to go over.
I don't put my temperature up that high. I put it on 350.
Yeah, but I said it can burn if you put it up too high. It can burn the bottom. Oh, what's so funny, one time we made biscuits. I don't remember exactly what the temperature was, or if we forgot about them being in or whatever. And so help me to God, that they was so hard that they would bounce off the wall. I mean, that is the truth. And it wasn't a one of them got ate. But no wonder, it would have broke your jaw. They was so hard. But that's not happened since. But, I mean, that was so funny. I mean...
I think we had Daddy or somebody set the stove, or my husband, somebody set the temperature for us, and we didn't double check it.
And we had a mess. A funny mess, really. But the birds managed to eat it, but I'd say they probably didn't even eat it until Dew hit it that morning to soften them some. I mean, they would just bounce.
What is your guys' favorite seasons of the year? I think mine is spring and summer. What's yours, Mommy?
Mine is spring and fall.
Or, I mean, mine is spring and fall, yes.
We need to get this off of there. That looks bad.
I sure can't do the hot weather like I used to. It's too hot.
Have you ever ate potato pancakes? And that is like if you make homemade mashed potatoes and then the next day you can, if you have any left, instead of like throwing them out, is make potato pancakes with them. They are awfully good too, but I've not made that in years, but they're really good. Okay, family and friends, we're going to let this get done, and we'll get back with you as soon as they're done. Okay, and you say it now.
Yep, and we will get back to you guys as soon as they're done and let you know how they turn out.
Hello, family and friends. Well, it's good to be back with you. Well, the pumpkin cake is done, but instead of being cakes, now it's going to be cupcakes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ice them. They really smell good.
And the icing she made is confection sugar, heavy whipping cream, and was a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of salt. But again, she doesn't measure anything. So we come up with our own concoction. Instead of pumpkin bread, we're making pumpkin cupcakes. We figure it would be easier for people just to grab these instead of having to worry about cutting the bread.
Grab them and go.
It is so hot outside today.
It is miserable out there. I went out there and found a little shade spot and sat what time these was cooling. And I looked at the front of the lawn, just the one in eyesight. And I'm telling you that the weeds, it's ridiculous out there. The weeds is really bigger than the plants. And if the plants and fruit and vegetables would grow as fast as the weeds did, I'll tell you what, it would really be great. But as I looked at the lawn, I looked and I thought, to get all of these done, it would take a month of Sundays just cheering this front lawn. It's just so big. And then you got to be careful also when you're doing the flowers, because we got bunnies and they laid their babies in some of her plants. And so we have to be really careful to make sure that, that we don't get down and bother the babies. Because they run everywhere. And then we got just about everything running around. And I think it was the day before yesterday. Do you know the name of those ducks?
Geese?
Geese, or, well, they're like geese, like they fly. I don't know really what the name of them are. And we had a whole line of them, and they was behind each other. And when they come across the road, the traffic has to stop until all of them gets by. And that is so cute of them. I mean, it's just so neat.
And when one turns around, they all turn back around.
I guess one must be like the leader of the pack, maybe, or something. And usually when they travel, sometimes they'll travel in 2 or 4, and then sometimes it's God, it doesn't tell us how many. What would you say, 25, 30 or more?
Oh, yeah.
But what's strange, if it's 2 together and one of them gets lost and they can't find each other, they say then the other one will die because it won't eat, it can't survive without the other one. I don't know that much about them, I just know what I'm told.
My son went fishing today, him and his best friend. And they had no luck catching any fish, I guess maybe because it was so hot out there.
He said it was the hot, there was nothing biting, he said. And I think tomorrow it's supposed to be like 97 with high humidity. So.
Yeah, they left for fishing. Gosh, it was before 7 o'clock this morning.
And I heard people always say that we would have as many cold days in the winter as we would have as many hot days in the summer. If that's anything to that, we'll sure have quite a bit of cold days. But like I told my daughter, in the summertime, it's just so hot that you can't take enough off, and in the winter you can put enough on to stay warm. But there's a lot of people out there, they like this type of weather, but it's just not for me. It's too hot and too much trouble breathing anyway, but it's what it is.
I don't like the snow. I don't like driving in the snow. Snow is pretty if you get to sit and watch it and you don't have to go anywhere, but driving in it, no. What is your guys' favorite seasons? Do you guys like the snow?
Has anybody ever made snow cream ice cream? We used to did growing up. We would have they call them dish pans. I guess a lot of you know what I'm talking about. You don't do it with the first snow. You gotta wait till after the first snow was gone, and then you can start with the second snow. And all it takes is like cream and sugar, and I'm telling you, it's really good. But you gotta eat fast because it melts fast. But it is really good.
Did you guys have air conditioning when you were little, Mom?
No.
How did you guys survive the summer?
Well, though, for a long time, we just like fans, and you kept like your windows up, and then sometimes it'd be so hot that me and my older sister, we would make these little hand fans out of paper, and we would fan ourselves to sleep. It would be so hot. And on Friday nights, I'm not for sure if they came on Saturday nights or not, but this was on the radio. It was the Grand Ole Opry, and we all would get our bath tuck, and then we would lay down and listen to the Grand Ole Opry in the bed because it would just be so hot, and we would be a fanning away of listening to the Grand Ole Opry. And then later on, as the years went by, then we got a little small air condition, but it was only enough to keep like one room like cool. So really, it helped some, but not a whole lot. And back then, when I was growing up, people didn't worry about, like locking their doors and all of that stuff. They would leave the doors open if they had to go to town, doctor, grocery store. You could just open your door and go right in. But can't do that now. But we done it like years ago.
What was a fun memory with you and Janie, your oldest sister?
A little bit of everything, really.
Tell them about Janie.
Janie she was one of a kind. She was one of these, like before these pants and shorts come out with these cuts all in them and jags and all that stuff. She would already have them. She would be wearing the things like that out. And Mommy would say, "Now, Janie, people think you're not going to have nothing." She said, "I don't care." She said, "What people think." She said, "This is what I like and this is what I'm going to do." And she'd have big slits in her blouses, no matter how good they was or whatever.
And a mullet, before the mullets were popular.
Yeah, and mullets and
different colors in your hair.
She would have different colors in her hair. But now she didn't have any tattoos. But lo and behold, she had, I don't know how many earrings she would have in her ears that was pierced. She had a nose ring, and she had other rings places I'd rather not say. But she was just something else.
And she would show you where the other piercings were too, if you wasn't careful.
Yeah. And she was all foreign told. She didn't take anything, but she didn't, never start anything like that. But if you was going to dish something out to her, you better be ready to have it dished back out to you. She was just one of a kind.
And she looked after you, didn't she?
Yeah.
It's funny how Janie looked after you, and then you looked after the other ones.
Yeah. Well, the reason that she took care of me so and would watch me so, we had this, stepdad, I guess you call him stepdad, or living dad, or whatever you may call him. He was very, very mean. He had 2 kids, and my mom had me and Janie. And I stayed sick a whole lot. I have always been anemic, and I would have to the doctor a lot. And he was really, really mean to me. Well, we almost got them. Got 2 more to go. And her real name, it was Sorrel Jack. And she didn't like Sorrel. So she never would go with Sorrel. She went to Janie. She said Sorrel sounded too old. And she didn't like the sound of Sorrel. Yeah, she was 2 years older than me. Well, 2 years older, and maybe 2 months, 2 or 3 months between me and her. If she had lived,
6 months difference between you and her.
if she had lived, she would have been 72 at, the past August.
And her and Daddy died not even 24 hours apart.
22 hours. They said 22 hours or less.
Yeah, my daddy died on May the 30th of 2023. Janie died on May 31st of 2023. Everybody said that Janie was really sick too. The family said that Janie knew when she heard that Daddy passed away that she knew it was okay, that she could go and she didn't have to fight anymore. That's what the whole family believes, that once my dad gave up his fight, that Janie knew it was okay to give up her fight. And we always said, we can imagine my dad and my brother and Mama and them in heaven, and there was coming Janie, because she'd be hollering, I'm coming and I'm here. And that would be her, for sure.
And that's where she would talk your ears off, talk your head off.
Yeah, she would say, now let's start from the beginning and don't leave anything out, no matter what you told her. If it was a recipe or you worked on your garden, now let's start over and don't leave anything out, she would say, because she wanted to know every little detail that there was to tell.
Before she got really bad, she would plant a garden in a great big garden, and she made sure her neighbors had messes of everything that she had. She said that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, Lisa.
Yep, and that's one thing that is different that we've noticed since we moved from the country to where we're at now. Is, in the country, no matter what people had, they always looked after their neighbor. What they had, you had. They shared with the neighbors. They made sure that if they needed something, they had it. And they always shared their garden, everything else. Now where we're at, that does not happen. You're lucky if a neighbor will give you a hi, like wave their hand and say hi to you. It's very different. The country life and city life and whatever part of town you want to call this, it's definitely not the same.
Okay, I hope you're enjoying watching us make some pumpkin cupcakes.
And here's what they all look like. They look yummy,
I think I put more icing on some of them than I did on others.
Yep. My husband has been waiting for them. He went to get Elijah from school, and he has been dying to get a hold of these cupcakes. Or banana bread cupcakes, whatever you want to call them. We just make it up here.
Okay. I'm glad I got to talk with you for a while. And I hope you liked watching us make our cupcakes.
And we were glad to talk with you and chat with you. Mommy made the pumpkin bread cupcakes today, and the homemade ice, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and we enjoyed chatting with you. We hope you liked this video. If so, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, Our Cherished 5, and we will talk to you guys next time, and God bless you guys.
Love you.